It's my last day on Koh Lanta. I leave tomorrow morning first thing, and this is my last chance to come and see Lanta Old Town. And how do I know I'm in Lanta Old Town? There's a big sign that says it just there. So this is the start of the walking street that takes you straight through, and this is on the west side of the island. You don't get many hotels, resorts around here. You do get some, not a lot. So you find that most people on the east side will hire mopeds, scooters, cars, or they'll do a tour and they'll come down here for the day. And there's loads of tourists. So Koh Lanta, bit of history. First people that came on the island were the sea gypsies. They were actually known as the Chow Lay people, but they got the nickname of sea gypsies. Basically they came onto Koh Lanta during monsoon season, set up home, and then once monsoon season was over, they would go on their little merry way onto wherever they went. It is busy, isn't it? I think a lot of the locals live around here. So 20 years ago, last week, Koh Lanta was hit by a tsunami, and this devastated the island, especially the west side. Now the sea gypsies are still on the island, living down that way, and basically all their accommodation, all their houses, everything they owned was destroyed, and all their accommodation was on the houses on the sea front. So the government came along to help them out, and then built the new accommodation inland, of which they are still not happy about, because their life revolves around the sea. Now at the moment I am going to try and go out around here on the old town as quickly as I can, mainly because I've got a leaving meal tonight. I need to go back, pack, sort my life out. I'm just gonna have a wander down here, see what's here. Now I have been down Old Town before. I did a video February time. Unfortunately it was done on my iPhone. It wasn't the best, so I'm doing this because I have got HD 4K. Oh, it didn't go anywhere. Right. Well, it just sort of ends. I think this is a hotel. But that's where I'm heading for over there. There's a pier, takes you out. Look at them islands. Let's get a bit of a close up. I wonder if you can do tours over there. I mean, they just look like bits of rock with some trees on it. Right, back to the street. Right, I'm back on the main street. So I'm going for a farewell meal, because of the amount of people that have been in the hostel. I've sort of got to know over the last week of being here, and there's a couple of us leaving tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a bit of an emotional farewell. And that's the problem with going backpacking, when you've met people, settled down, And then you got to say bye-bye. Oh, it's a Chinese temple. Right. Wow. I forgot about this place. That's quite... That's metal. Wow. Look at that. Just seems to be a lot of stuff growing out to the sea. I think the tide is right out at the moment. Now, if I remember rightly, last time I was on the pier, there was a load of fishermen all catching fish. So hopefully we'll be able to see someone catch any, hopefully. And with the sea gypsies, and I'm going from subject to subject, with the sea gypsies coming over here 500 years ago, there was other sea traders who realised that they could have a stop off on the island before they carried on with their trading, and because of that there was a lot of Chinese sea traders who moved on the island and started businesses. Right, back to the main street. So I have done some research for a change. Oh. It does seem to be like a tourist trap round here. But these buildings, now I don't know if these buildings have survived the tsunami. Because they do look quite old-ish. So I've come to the end of Water Street. And when I first arrived here about 10-15 minutes ago, I actually parked down there to walk all the way back down there to start filming. You can see the sun starting to come down. Don't need to put it into the camera. Now unfortunately there's a tuk-tuk driver down there who's got his music on full blast. So this is the quietest round here that I can get. Music. But there's a pier, and let's just show you the start of Walking Street from this side. Now they didn't call it Water Street last time I was here, but they've just got a sign there saying Walking Street. So this must be where the Chinese sea traders first came. I'm only guessing because of all the Chinese lanterns. And there is a welcome to Lanta Krabi, Thailand, and then lots of signs in Thai. Oh. So this is the start of the pier, and you've got a little information centre there with a big massive lobster, so I'll go past a minute. But you can get from Old Town to the big island that's nearby, which you'll probably see from the edge of the pier. So that's Koh Lanta. 100 baht. That's not bad. Little day trip out. And these look all modern. Let's have a look at this lobster. So when you look down the end of the pier, there's loads of people just coming back, so I'm assuming they've just come back from a little trip to the other island. Look at that, it's a lobster. Trying to see its size. Wow. Oh, lots of people. That must be the island over there then. Right, walking down the pier, the first thing you do see is there's a shipwreck. Wow. And not just a shipwreck, there's a little lighthouse. Oh, I need to go over there. Well, doesn't look like anyone is fishing down here, which is a shame. But yeah, that's the island that people have been going to. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a beach on the other side on that island there. So there'll be a chance, if you're on this side, I guess, staying in a hotel or a guest house, then you don't want to be travelling all the way to the other side just to go to a beach, when you can just jump on a boat and go to the side to a beach over there. I'm quite upset there's no fishermen around here. So we're coming to the end of the pier. You can see how long my shadow is, so it's getting late. Wow. I think the last of the boats have just come in. Oh. Oh. Now, in my last video, in my last video I did say that I will be coming back to Koh Lanta, no doubt, in the next couple of years, probably even this year later on. And there's still a lot of stuff that I've never done before. And one of them might be to go across to the island over there. I mean, from here you can't see a lot apart from a beach, but I'm sure there'll be cafes, McDonald's. These are the boats. Wow. I mean, that's their engine. Wow. Right, let's go and have a look at the shipwreck. Right, I've just come off the pier, and I did mention the tsunami that happened 20 years ago, and now they have guidelines. You see these signs all over the island, but that's where we are now, and that is where the evacuation centre is. Which I suppose better to be prepared. It's a nice little site. I think they're all restaurants. Right, let's go and see this shipwreck. Mr. Lobster's still doing his stuff. And there it is. It's a shipwreck. So this is the RV Rowan Grand. I hope I've said that correctly. And this was actually shipwrecked in 2020 during a monsoon. And I wasn't too sure, so I've had to Google it a few times, because it does look older. But then again, if it's been there for 4 years, it's probably taken a lot of the weather battering over the last few years. It's a nice little area. But wow. I mean, they could move it, but it's something interesting to look at. And then there's this. I wouldn't be surprised if they built that after the monsoon, because it looks newish. So I'm actually standing next to it, and it does look pretty old-ish. So I don't know if it's new, old, but then over here you've got a warning tower surrounded by trees, but that might be for the tsunami if anything happens. Nice little river there, not a lot happening. I wonder if that's the sea gypsies over there. Like I said, nice little area. So you just saw the sign. It's all in Thai. So this has been a whistle stop tour of the place, of Old Town, and I'm just glad that the guy playing his music has either disappeared or turned it down. That sun is really strong. And to come down here would be nice, just to get away from the beach area, see something different, have a wander across over to the island, see the shipwreck. Nice little area. And now that guy's gone with the music, and I can actually go to the roundabout and have a look at the whatever that thing's in the middle of the roundabout is. So it looks like a memorial of some sort. Got some cannons, some geyser stood in the middle. I'm not going to go any closer because I don't want to take my shoes off. Oh, lots of lights. That looks pretty at night time. There's a little donation box on the right hand side. So, but what else is around here? There is the Koh Lanta Museum up that way. No idea what's in there. Something else to think about for when I come back, whenever I do. And yeah, plenty of restaurants, plenty of souvenir shops. I mean, I must start thinking about getting some souvenirs for when I go back, whenever that may be. But I've enjoyed this, nice little trip out, and it's my last day, my last night. So, If you've enjoyed this little video of Koh Lanta, the old town, then all you got to do is press that like button. If you want to see where I'm going, because I do know where I'm going, but I can't remember what it's called. It's got 3 names, not just the one. Then all you got to do is press that subscribe button. But until the next time, I'm off to get ready for my final meal on Koh Lanta. So until then, bye bye for now.